Hello, welcome to Flory Models. I'm Flory, back again, as obviously had a little bit of time off. Last week we were at RIAT on the Thursday and Friday. I know quite a few of you thought we were there at the weekend as well. No, we just went for Arrivals Day, and I think we got the best of the weather really. Managed not to get burnt, which is unusual for me because normally I get burnt to a frazzle. Great time. Marcus came along and joined us as well as we had Steve, the other Steve, and Dave as well. So we had a great old time there. Loads of videos were shot, thousands of photos were taken, everything else. So hopefully over the next few weeks we'll bring you a great new library and everything else. Thanks for all the feedback on the way the new site is running. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a little bit different, and I know it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but already it is paying off because searching, I know a lot of you have said to me that you found it a lot easier to sort of find things, and also because things aren't sort of packed into a news show like they are or used to be. Now it's so much easier because now hopefully with the new search system, it's been going now 2 weeks already. If you just click anything that says 148, it will come up with anything that we've done in the last basically 2 weeks in 148 scale. If you click on Phantom, it will come up with all the builds. It will be right in front of you straight away to see it. So hopefully as things develop, to be honest, why these guys are here, we've done the 2 reviews on both of these kits that came in last week. They're now going to be in the system, so you'll just click on kit reviews and it will take you to the kit reviews page. If you click on anything with Jaguar, it will take you to Jaguar. So the main site now is really intuitive, and hopefully it just makes things a lot easier. Personally for me it's great because I just click these buttons and it all appears now and everything else. If you're not on the Facebook page, the members one, you can literally hop on there and anything we do now gets sent directly to the Flory Models Facebook page as well. So you can see it all there, you know, really simple, really easy. What we're going to do later in the show, I'm going to take you over to the site and run through exactly how it is and where things are, because a lot of you have said about can we have emails to update us. There is a really easy system to subscribe to individual pages or to areas in the main site as well. So I'm going to show you how you do it and a quick rundown of exactly how it all works and everything else like that now. Also, we're going to have a big move around in the forum. Now, I need to speak to Hans about this over the weekend and just get his sort of agreement, because obviously he runs a forum basically for us, to make sure he's happy with it. But we're going to streamline that as well. So this area, if you're watching it in the forum, won't exist as of next week, if I get my way. Because what we're going to do is it will just be known as the Today page. So it will be a mirror image of everything that's happened on the main site. Will also be in the forum as well. So if you are one of the guys who just goes to the forum every day, you can just obviously click on the Today page in the forum and it'll be a mirror image of the main site as well. So again, hopefully, fingers crossed if I can get this to work, you'll click on the links on the forum and it will take you to the pages directly on the main site. So again, if you go 148, you'll click that, it will take you to the 148 sort of menu system on the main site, everything else like it. I know it's a little bit confusing, and I know some of you have been having troubles working your way around it and everything else because things moved. Mainly the news page. They are still archived, which I have to work out. I think it's down here. Down the bottom, there's an actual archive of every news show we've done since 2009 is down there. The ones before that were just actually on to YouTube, I do believe, and you can see them on there as well. So as I say, it's personal how you want to do it. If you want to go off and look at those, you can do them. Again, the search bar on the main site has been all updated and everything else. So it's now at the very top above me, and you've got the search. Click search, opens up a little box, type in what you want, and it should come up with anything that's on the main site, including things in the news show. So you'll be able to find them, okay, and go around. But hopefully it will all be working really well. So as I said, I have been away doing various things. We're off at RF Odeum. I must thank RF Odeum, especially Chris Mackey, who invited us up there. Lovely barbecue afterwards. The guys from IPMS Farm as well. That was, you know, lovely time and everything else like that. Amazing videos, I'm going to have a video of that shortly as well up on the main site. Anyway, for me, I've been really pushing on this week, which is great because like yesterday I would have been doing this and then editing it all together, and it was great because I came down and spent a day doing paintwork. So you might have noticed we've got quite a few updates onto the main site, mainly obviously on the Phantom. We've got 2 parts of the Phantom up this week as well, which basically gets us completely to here, apart from you haven't got the metalwork one on there. Lovely, no problem at all with it. Working with the guns paints being gloss, they're so much easier to work with in warm weather. So anyway, you've got another 2 parts up there, which I do believe are parts 6 and 7 are up on the main site, which gets you to here. We talk about pre-shading, spraying white. I did it in 2 coats, and to be honest, I didn't use Tamiya. I always use Tamiya flat white for doing my white. I thought I'd push myself a bit, so I actually went off and used Valero Model Air, and it worked just as well. A few simple guidelines. Have a watch of it and you'll see exactly how I did it. And then we've done the metal work, which, to be honest, I know I say I won't use metallizer paints and that. There's really no, you know, let's face it, acrylic paints don't do nice metal finishes, okay? Citadels, perhaps a little bit, but certainly metallizer paints, buffable paints, great for doing this underwork. So that is on there as well. So what I'm going to do is get this deckled, okay? And then we're going to do a little bit of post-weathering to it as well. Weathering wash, some post shading, and then what we can do is work out about getting this onto its nice stand. As you can see, I've got it just bolted on here at the moment. This is purely to aid holding it as I was doing it, for putting it down. So we're going to get that mounted up onto a stand. That will be finished next week. The F117, to be honest, if you've seen that one as well, we had updates of that going up onto the Today pages. That's just over there at the moment. That's ready to start working through all the colours. So what I'm going to do is get back in the spray bay on Monday and finish that one off as well. So that will be completed next week. The Hawk, to be honest, is just out of reach. It's literally just down there. Is in primer now, and then what we're going to be doing is a special on painting black gloss work and everything else like that. So we'll be certainly running through those. After that, I am starting, if you can see it down over my shoulder, but we have got the carrier down there, the 1:350 scale, the Iwo Jima, and we've got the Merkava tank as well. So they're the next 2 up for me. Then after that, I may do one of these 2 as well. Not too sure yet. I'd love to do the Jag. If you watch the review, you'll understand why, and certainly you'll know which scheme I'll be going for as well doing that. But I do like the Lightning as well, so I don't know, I might just throw myself in and do both, so we're not quite sure. So anyway, what we're going to do now is I'm going to go, we're going to watch a small little 5-minute clip from the family day at RAF Odeon, because if you've never seen it before, the bit where they do roping out is something to be seen. Okay, so watch it. It's well worth watching it because it is quite fun and fantastic to watch them guys hanging below helicopters doing 100 knots. Brilliant. Anyway, so we've got that, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to take you over to the main site. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of exactly how it all works and everything else like that, and point out some interesting things that have been going on the main site and on the forum and everything else like that over the last 2 weeks.
Performed by 7th Squadron, and the idea is to display a number of different insertion and extraction capabilities, but of course the squadron here very much a part of Special Forces operations. Sorry, I am a rotor, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I'm not going to try and talk over the sound, but basically the Chinook can carry a wide internally. Needs to get out quickly and vacate the area that there we go. Over the shoulder. Up, back, double turn and away. So here they come again. Of course, formation flying in helicopters, therefore you have to be careful in any formation. So again, you've got the run in now, very troops, there are your quads, we've got to get them out as quickly as possible. You don't want to be hanging around. You're taking ground fire. So it's again, quick stop. Into the hollow. The pilot's arms there, looking back along the helicopter, forward positioning. The crew then ready to drop. Taking the ropes down on the other helicopter to the left, you can see the ladder coming up. And here we go, so you've got to be pretty fit for this, ladies and gentlemen. And in this heat as well, the boys are doing well. Just getting a little bit now, and on the step ladder there, we've got it. That's the first time I've seen the rope. I guess you could end up feeling a wee bit sick dangling on that. Having started like the parachutist, I know flopping around under a canopy can make you a little bit icky poos, but anyway. Look at that, Melvin. I just can't get over it. I've not seen that before. Yeah, I think it's sort of fairly important. Fiver's got his head around where, because you can imagine if your height readouts were a little bit iffy, you'd end up with a very transitory form of level. I must speak to those guys. Did we get sick? Did we get sick? They're hard men, ladies and gentlemen, hard men. And women too. Wow, well I see the rope ladder man has managed to get himself into the aircraft, so they've been taken out, they've got into a safe area. Now they're going to be allowed that. by those intermeshing rotor blades. It just, as a rotor head myself, although I don't fly.
Okay, welcome to Flory Models site. Okay, so the major changes we have is up here in the today thing. So we've assumed you've logged in. Okay, so members, you'll just log in. Okay, flick on over to today, and then down you'll come. Okay, this is all down in here. So if we just start back where we were a few days ago. So for instance, where are you? Sort of Monday the 15th, that's really where we left off. Okay, Ross Armstrong's done an amazing job on this particular build. This one's absolutely lovely. So if you click down into Ross's one, it will all load through. Now this is the Fine Structures Models. I've just released it. It's a beautiful, I think they describe it as I say here, like a desktop model. What you've actually got, it's basically the skeleton and the bare bones with all the internals of it. As I said, he's done obviously the Tamiya one before, like all of us, but he's bought this particular one. Now it's not cheap, it's about 300 quid, but you certainly do get a lot of stuff with it. If I just scroll it down here a bit, obviously he's done a great little review on what you actually get in the box with all the sprues, and then he's showing about going down, needing a little bit of cleanup and going through. This is the type of thing you could super detail it, I should think, you know, and go around and rewire it and everything. It's more of a structural build rather than a sort of model build, but as you can see, beautifully done and detailed, and we're going to be following him as he goes right the way through this particular build. It really is something very, very special. So back onto the actual page. So basically we did a short little thing. We're having real trouble with the hot weather here in the UK over the last couple of weeks, and it's been absolutely driving me mad. So what I did here, I did a short little video back here on Tuesday the 16th, if it loads through. Okay, so you might be in a situation like I am at the moment where the weather is... Well, we're talking basically about the weather on this particular one, and obviously don't forget you can go full screen with it to see it all in glorious detail as we go through. It's free to see, anybody can watch this one, so if you want to, go in there, have a look, and I talk about using, obviously, making sure your airbrush is nice and clean, it's well lubricated, and everything else like that. And really, it's just a general sort of maintenance one on there in this hot weather. You know, if you're having trouble with it, clean your airbrush, get it all clean, all the bits and pieces and nasty bits out of it, and you'll find you'll be absolutely fine. Now, okay, Stefan's build, as we'll go through, we'll talk about that in a moment, to be honest. Wednesday the 17th, we were talking about the F117, so now you just click on the F117, it'll take you directly, if you remember, to the page, so you can just scroll down through all the videos. They're all half-hour videos, and we got down to part 4 on this particular one, where we're talking about, obviously, getting rid of it, the texture again because of the weather was pretty nasty, and we talk about all the little ways to go through it and everything else like that. So again, usual thing, it's in full screen if you want to watch it in full screen in HD, or you can watch it just down here on the player just like that. So that one has moved through. That one's basically where it's to at the moment. Okay, that's up to Wednesday. Could do one of these at the bottom. Okay, so if we start down here again, Jonas is working on the Gripen. Okay, now this is where it slightly changes. You click on the link here, takes you to the file page. Now the file page has them all in. A lot of you did mention quite correctly that it went on a little bit too long with the old scrolling. We were having trouble with iPads as well and smart tablets keeping up with our file system. So now obviously I've got a couple of photos in. We're just going to put one in like this from now on, as you see, but basically you just click part 3, click on part 3, it will take you down there and say nice clean images of the photo build, and obviously his description is he's working his way through it just like that. Okay, you can go back, and if you want to you can go back to part 2, click on part 2, and part 2 will load through. It just stops us having that situation where it goes on forever. Okay, so that's his build that he's been going on with that one. Let me just go back a few pages. Obviously I did a short little video, it's just a YouTube nasty one, and this one is where I shot the footage from the Royal International Air 2. Now, between me and the guys we were with there now, we've got thousands of images to go right the way through and everything else like that. But as you say, bear with us, and I'm going to get them all up on the site, and the boys are going to go through it all and everything else like that. And what we're going to be in is hopefully a situation where, if this loads through, it'd be quite handy. There we go. We'll be in a situation where we can then obviously bring you the great footage, as well as nice still images, perhaps for references, just to have a look at everything else. They're going to be raw format, so excuse any language that you might hear on there. I'm not going to put a music track to them and all the usual bits and pieces that I do. They are all in HD and everything else. They are going to be a mixture of YouTube on the freebie thing and members as well. So between both of you, you can see them absolutely like that. So that was that one. That was a good old day, I must admit. Thanks to the guys for that one. And there's us all. There's our Mr. Jellyman, Marcus Jellyman on the site. Obviously yours truly. Steve Malley, he's our armour guy on the site. Dave, you probably know, a lot of you know Dave from Snap. He comes on a lot of our visits with us as well. And this is John, which is Mr. Jellyman's dad, who comes with us on a lot of our trips that we do as well. Plenty of laughs, and well, we won't go into what happened shortly after that photo was taken. Anyway, Black Widow build. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one. This is Hans, has been really researching this one very, very hard, getting a lot of the aftermarket bits in for it and everything else like that. We've got two parts up on this one. First one, he talks about obviously the kit, the aircraft, everything about it, some of the things you might not know about it, and then working our way through. He's done a full kit review, great close-up photos, everything else like you can imagine, right the way through down here as we work our way down. Then he's going to be talking about the aftermarket parts as well, which he's got for it once we get past here. So we're talking, we've got the True Details wheels for it he's got. A lot of people said about the cockpit's a little bit funny on this, so obviously we've taken the bull by the horns and gone completely with a full resin replacement one for it, and obviously details that as he goes through, and some images of that. The masters for the gun barrels, things like that. Some aftermarket little bits and pieces down there. Replacement nose for it, replacement engines for it, and looking at that, they look like a fun time. Replacement decals for it that you can get out there. The reference books is he's going to be using for this and everything else. And then obviously go down to part one, and he's actually started on the build itself going the way through. So again, this is free for all non-members to look at this one as well. I'd really advise you to have a look. He's quite a good job at this one. Lovely detail going into there. A lot of changes to the kit that he's making as he goes right the way through it. Next up, after that, we have to go forward a page, I do believe, sorry, back another page. Me talking about the Phantom. Again, we've pushed through with this one. This particular part, which is part 6, painting white work, not an easy thing to do, so hopefully I'll show you quite doing that. We've also got pre-shading going on that went on below that one as well, so that makes it through. There's another part to talk about that one in a moment. Okay, and then back down here we've got the grip and build. Okay, as I say, going through that one again, part up there. Steve continues doing the actual truck. This is the Thornycroft transporter truck. Lots going to be happening with this one. Keep an eye on this build. Beautiful work done by Steve through that one. Okay, myself back again with the video builds, basically getting the white work on, talking about pre-shading, how to make it show through to the best of its ability, and then we start whacking the paint down and we're getting the light gold grey going on there, which, as we spoke about earlier in the show, gets you to around about that area. Amazing work, as you can see again, by doing this one down in here. You know, as you say, it's one of those things. It's an amazing job, great detail and everything else, and certainly some of the best photo etch work I've seen so far, so you really want to check that one out. Again, talking about reviews, the new way this will be, we'll talk about it in a moment. The kit reviews, as I'm doing this, I've got to add to this, so you'll see a few more later, but basically you just come along, click here, go kit reviews, and they're going to be listed down here alphabetically, okay? Just click on the review, it'll take you to a separate page. I have got to add some photos down here as well, okay? But basically you talk and I'll talk to you massively. Let's say it'll come through. But again, as I say, it's the full review. It's about, they're all going to be about 10-15 minutes maximum for all the review on that each individual aircraft. So again, you don't have to be bored to death with me going through it all. But there we go, we're going to be talking about that one as we go through. So, a few things to point out, a few changes for you to make sure you're all up to speed how things work. First of all, if you want to subscribe to the Today page, okay, just simply go up to your name. I've just got test up here, but obviously you'll click here, okay, then you can just literally subscribe to the page, okay. It will subscribe you to that page. If you go up to your edit profile, you can change all your different things, but you've got subscriptions. Click on subscriptions and it says you're subscribed to the Today page. If you find I'm annoying you to death by putting up loads of different work every single day on there and it's getting a little bit too much, you can remove yourself from that said program, okay? So that will stop you getting email notifications to tell you about it, all right? The other thing as well, what you can do, if you want to know anything that's 148, just click on the tag. Okay, click on that particular tag, and here we are, entries for 148 scale. So at the moment, obviously it's a little bit brief, but you've got myself with the Phantom, you've got Stefan's doing, obviously the Grippen's 148 scale, the kit review was 148 scale as well, and there's be a few other things. There should be a black, there you go, there's the F117, because it's that scale, and so forth and so on. Alright, so that's pretty straightforward. If you want to click on reviews, just click the reviews, all the reviews to come up. To be honest, time of doing this, I've just got the one, alright, so bear with me. Okay, and then if we just pick another one out, perhaps the Bismarck. So obviously we've got all the updates down here from the Bismarck as it goes right the way through, and the same if you want to look for anything by Stefan, perhaps you're a fan of his work, just click on his name and only his stuff will come up. Okay, and that's how it actually works. The scale as well, click on 1 to 200, obviously it's just this. If we just go off to something a little bit, as we were saying, like myself, click on Phil, and it's just talking about obviously where I did the Phantom, and it's just one entry because obviously I haven't tagged my name. But what we're going to do is like video builds, click on video builds, you'll come up with all the video builds that are on there at the moment. Okay, and this is how it works, this is how easy it is. Photo builds, so just click photo builds, and all the guys' photo builds will appear just there, so you can just sort of filter as you go right the way through. Don't forget we've got searches now nice and high up here, so if you come out and if you put in here, if we put Phantom, okay, everything comes up. So we've got the review we did on the book, which is the Daco one that was up there. We've got entries that are in news shows talking about the Phantom. We've got everything you can imagine on there. So we've got obviously doing the builds, we've got various, anything on there is now in there and does work. So it's just up there in the search area. So that's really it. Usual thing, we've got the store, the subscribe, obviously if you're a non-subscriber, you can subscribe in there. So all you literally do, come along, subscribe, all the T's and C's, all the boring stuff. You can come along and then just literally click on there, or you can do the year. You can unsubscribe at any time, just click down there, it'll take you to the unsubscribe page, click that and it'll unsubscribe you. It's as simple as that. Okay, now you will be taken to another page which will then ask you to put in all your details for your actual site. So you'll go off to PayPal, it'll take your money, thank you, and then it'll bring you back here, okay, where it'll ask you just to fill in your details, really basic, username, a password, and away you are good to go. You'll have to do the same for the forum using the same username and password, please. Any problems, either wait 20 minutes and I'll get to you because it'll ping me an email to say you've had a problem and I'll get to you as soon as I can, or just shoot me, just go through the contact us page just here, okay, just pop it down, just say hi Phil, can't get in, and I'll send you the links to get you all in, or I'll get you in anyway. So just bear with me, usually I'm around and it just pings me an email, usually within 10 to 15 minutes, so I'll be to you in 20 minutes to get you that sorted, unless I'm asleep and everything else like that. So there we go, that's how it's all nicely working and everything else like that. I hope you're enjoying the new setup. Guys in the forum, obviously you will get this as well very, very shortly, just as soon as I get it sorted out with the links all over to you and everything else. I hope you're enjoying it. It gives you something every single day. I've got something on here, apart from the weekends, but even last weekend I put stuff up. So later on today you'll see this will be a little bit different by the time you see it, because I'll have the other review in there, I'll have other videos in there and everything else like that. So that's it for me this week. Thanks for watching, guys, and everything else. I'm going to leave you from a clip from RIAT with the beautiful sound of radial engines from the B25 and the Corsair Red Bulls. Till next week, everybody, take care and happy modelling.